Hi everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Moria Frazier with me and Michelle Giarusso from the ballet, Bristol Ballet, and we also have Samson. Come on, Samson. And this, oh, there we go. Hey, buddy, we're excited to have you on today. This is the first time we've had a furry friend on. So this is an exciting time because you're getting ready to perform and direct the Nutcracker. But there's also a special partnership that we've got, which will help some of the animals in our area. Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bristol Ballet has partnered this year with the Sullivan County Animal Shelter, and this is our second year producing Pup Cracker, as we call it. So basically Nutcracker with dogs. And Samson and another dog are in all of our Nutcracker shows this year, but Pup Cracker specifically is the Saturday noon show, and we will have adoptable dogs in the lobby of the performance from the Sullivan County Animal Shelter. So you could take your own furry friend home if you like. And last year we had 2 dogs adopted from our event, so we really hope to have that, that kind of success this year as well.
So how long? First of all, when did you start partnering with them and start this?
Sure, this is our second year doing it. So last year was our first, and it was a great success. We did have some adopted dogs and also raised some money for the shelter as well through a raffle.
So how many puppies will be there?
Last year we had 5 or 6, and it'll probably be something similar this year as well. And they also dressed them up in like little Santa costumes, or one had a tutu on. So they're very cute, they're very friendly, the dogs they bring, and yeah, we hope they all get adopted this year. So.
And how is it in terms of the performance with the Nutcracker when you add in some live animals? I know, you know, it can sometimes, you know, cause the unexpected. How does that go? How do you plan for that?
So Samson and the other dog are both very well trained, so generally it goes smoothly, but of course with live theater and live performance, there's always, you know, anything could happen, but we have Samson in 2 parts of the show, in Party Scene and in Marzipan, if anyone is familiar with the Nutcracker. And it's been a great addition to our show, kind of refreshing the classic Nutcracker tradition that we all love.
So Michelle, how did you get involved in all of this? I know Samson's your dog, so tell us about that.
Well, they put an advertisement out looking for animals, and I responded, but it's not my first time doing such a thing. I've worked with the Paramount Theater in their productions prior to the ballet, and I was a dog trainer outside of DC, Northern Virginia area for several years, many years, and I did some shows in the Shakespeare Theater, Arena Stage, places like that, and so on. And so I've had some experience and always looking for a project for my dogs. Brought Samson and met the folks at the Bristol Ballet. They liked him.
We love him.
We love Samson. How can we not?
And they decided that would be a good fit for for the 2 acts, to be in both acts, and they hired him, and here he is today in costume.
That's great. Well, we love his costume, and we won't keep him on here too long because, you know, it's got to be pretty hot. He looks like he's pretty furry. So, well, this is exciting. What a great way to give back to the community, create the holiday spirit, and, you know, I'm sure it's very tempting for a lot of the parents that come because, you know, it's always a kind of a #1 on a lot of kids' lists that they want a puppy or a dog for Christmas. So.
And training is paramount if you're going to do that. You need to train your animal and take care of it if you're going to adopt one. And we're going to have such great dogs on the Pup Cracker show, which is Saturday at noon, right?
Saturday, December 14th at noon is the one that will
Samson
have the
loves the
dogs.
children.
Absolutely.
Oh, I
He
bet.
loves the children.
So now, if we want to get tickets, how do we go about that?
Absolutely. You can go online to paramountbristol.org and go to their events page and do it directly online. Or if you prefer, you can go to the box office at the Paramount Bristol Theater as well in downtown Bristol. And yeah, we hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a great show. So.
Well, and it's a great show, great cause. We're so glad that you came on to share this with us today, and it was wonderful meeting both of you and Samson.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having us, and we hope everybody enjoys the show.
They sure will. I know it, because the Nutcracker is just a great classic. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Samantha Gray with us today from Theater Bristol. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, let's start with Christmas and tell us about Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah, we open on December 6th, Miracle on 34th Street, and it runs for 3 weekends, and it's directed by Dottie Havlick, and it's going to be a great show. It's got lots of excitement and a big trial of Santa, so of everyone's favorite, Miracle, but on stage live.
This is great. So if we want to get tickets, how do we go about that?
Go to theaterbristol.org and you can purchase tickets online. That's the easiest way to do it. If you need some help, you can also call us, but theaterbristol.org.
And I'm sure rehearsals are in full swing.
Yes, we head into tech next week, and so the tension is rising as we get everything just right with all the set and lights and costume and props. But it's going very well.
Oh, so you need to jump online and get that on your calendar. And I know you've got a huge lineup to announce.
We do, and we're going to kick off our season next year with a big musical, She Loves Me, which is, if you know the story, You've Got Mail. It's that show, but musical form. The music is absolutely beautiful, and we have auditions starting, though, in December. So 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, we have auditions for She Loves Me. So we hope lots of people come out. It's a beautiful show. And then we follow that show with River's Way, another collaboration. It's going to be a superhero theme called Real Heroes. And then following that, we're doing Jack and the Beanstalk. It'll be a good one for kids to come out in the spring. And then a big summer musical, The Sound of Music. Woo! Everybody's super excited. That's a big deal. One. Yeah. And then we're going to follow that with 12th Night by our Youth Service Board. And I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but the big one at the end of the year is going to be Elf, the movie Elf, but on stage as a full musical at the Paramount Center for the Arts in our art space. So that'll be a lot of fun. And we'll have auditions for all those shows, and all the audition information's on our website, as well as show information.
How long does it take you to decide what your lineup will be?
Oh, it takes a while. And then sometimes you apply for things and you can't get them. You know, it took us years to get Fiddler on the Roof, for example, and even Sound of Music, it took us a while. So it's a big discussion of the production team going back and forth, and also taking suggestions from the community and trying to see what we can work out and fit together. And we think it's a really nice season altogether. And it's our 55th anniversary.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, if you've not seen a Theater Bristol show, they really are incredible. And also, tell us a little bit about the audition process. If someone's watching and they haven't auditioned before, but it's something they've always wanted to do, how do they go about that?
Well, we take a lot of pride in the fact that you do not need to prepare for an audition at Theater Bristol. You can come in, so if it's a musical and we have some songs, we'll tell you what they are. You can look at them in advance, but we'll teach them to you when you get there. Okay. And then we have cold readings, and a cold reading just means you haven't seen it before. So we'll hand it to you. You can kind of look at it for a while, and then you go in with the director and the stage team, and you audition in front of them. And sometimes you might sing in a group. You don't necessarily have to sing alone. So we try to make you feel comfortable. You come in, you fill out your paperwork. The big thing is have all your conflicts, because that might dictate whether you're cast or not. But it's a very nice, comfortable process, and a lot of times people feel like it's like a workshop. They learn a lot.
That's great.
It's a good experience.
Is there anything that I'm missing that you'd like to add?
Just that, come and see a show, see what we're doing. We have a lot of great things on our website. We have summer camp next year as well. So there's always something fun going on, and maybe it might be your first time, but come check it out and see what it's like.
Definitely worth it. Thank you so much for being on today. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host Sheridan Nichols, and joining me today I've got Nathan Johnson from the fire department here with some great tips that we all need this time of year, and that is Christmas tree safety. Where do we start with that topic?
Well, when everybody goes for Christmas tree shopping, the big debate, what do we have? We want artificial or we want a real tree, Well, there's some safety tips for both, and we want to make everybody aware of it. So if you go with the natural tree, you want to make sure that it is a fresh tree. The needles are real green, and if you touch it, they don't fall off. And then you want to make sure you water that tree. A lot of people forget as well when they bring a natural tree home that they need to cut off at least 1 inch to 2 inches at the bottom of the tree, and that will open up the pores and allow the water to be introduced into the tree.
And how often do you water it?
Well, you want to water it. I say it's a good habit to do it every day. It'll, every other day, but you want to make sure that after the first couple days, it'll drink the most water. So during those are the most crucial time.
And then how long do you recommend someone keep their tree?
If it's a natural tree, you don't want to keep it no longer than 4 weeks. Okay. So if you put it up after Thanksgiving, right after Christmas, you need to take it down. Because a lot of the fires happen after Christmas that we've seen on studies that they occur a couple weeks after that where people just haven't disposed of their tree.
And then what about the artificial tree? You said there's some good safety tips with
There
that.
are. Artificial trees are not, they're not as likely to burn, but they are still flammable. And so the UL, if it's got a UL testing on it that's flame retardant or flame resistant, that's what you want to try to get. Lighting, LED lighting now is a whole lot safer than your traditional, halogen bulbs. So, yeah.
So definitely be careful with the lighting, probably on both trees.
Yes, definitely. And you don't want to use any kind of open flames around the trees, no candles for decoration. But inspect your lights. If you store it from the year past, make sure there's no open wires and don't overload your sockets.
Yeah, that's always a good tip.
Sure, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on today and for sharing that with
Thanks for
us.
having me.
We want to all stay safe during the holiday season,
ma'am.
so thank you. We really
Thanks
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the show. I've got Nathan Green with us today from the police department, and he is here to also share some great tips with us today in terms of just this holiday season. We have to be very precautious when using our credit cards and keeping gifts in the car, and give us some great tips that some of us just kind of forget because we get in this holiday bustle.
And that is it. You said it. You hit the nail on the head. It's a lot of people just forget things, just common sense things that you just don't think about because it is the holidays. But it's the same stuff you really should be doing year-round when you're shopping. If you're out shopping, make sure you're putting your gifts and purse and all that stuff. If you're going to leave it in the car, cover it, because a lot of people will go around looking to break into cars or checking doors, and if they don't see anything, I mean, they're going so fast, they're seeing things that's left out in the open. That's the ones they're going to try to maybe break into. So just make sure you cover those things. If you're going out of town for the holidays, you might consider maybe getting a timer for your lights so that it appears you're home. Of course, ask your neighbors to keep an eye on your house. Stop if it's going to be an extended time. You'd want to stop your mail and paper so it doesn't pile up. That's always a good indicator that you're gone out of town. And don't watch what you put on social media that you're going to be in France for Christmas. Unless you might want to put you got Ninja's house sitting or something. I don't know, but if you're going to put something like that online, after Christmas, be sure you recycle your boxes instead of piling out everything even though the city is going to pick up your trash, you might want to consider recycling so you don't show everybody what you got for Christmas that they might want now. So things like that. Online shopping, a lot of people do their shopping online now, so if you're going to be at work when packages are delivered and things like that, be sure you're tracking your packages to make sure you can have somebody either pick them up when you have them delivered or when you see that they've been delivered, or maybe consider somewhere else having them delivered to work or something like that, so you make sure you get them and somebody don't come and get them off your porch.
Yeah, you hate you even have to think about all these things this time of year, but you do.
And a lot of, Amazon, most places let you leave some instructions, so you might have a place specifically for packages that's not really out in the open that you can leave a note to have them deliver it. So just common sense things like that, and just keep in mind that there's a lot more traffic out, things like that. So leave extra time for traveling the closer it gets to Christmas.
Just try and slow down and enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy the holidays.
Instead of being in such a rush.
Absolutely.
And just be careful when you're flinging your credit card out too, because people can get those numbers quicker than you think.
Somebody's good at it. So.
Well, thank you so much for being on. And just as a great friendly reminder for all of us, we want everyone to have a great holiday season. And so thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Christina Blevins with me today from the Community Development. She is our specialist with Community Development and from the city. And we are talking a little bit about HUD housing. Tell us about this.
Super exciting stuff, right? Okay, well, so Bristol, Tennessee is what's called an entitlement community. And that means that we get funds given to us federally from Housing and Urban Development, HUD, without having to go through a third-party intermediary like THDA, Tennessee Housing Development Agency. So we get funds directly from the federal government.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it is good, but with that comes the caveat of doing lots of public input because this is federal funding. So we on the city website right now, bristoltn.org, or have a survey up until the end of the year asking for public input for what's called our comprehensive plan. Every 5 years, HUD asks us to do a comprehensive plan, and they're saying, okay, if you had so much money, what would you do with it? And basically, you know, the pillars of that are homelessness, low income individuals, single working moms, you know. So we do a lot currently with rehabbing low to moderate income properties. We do reconstruction. We also give public service money to the YWCA Bristol to help, you know, on a sliding scale, help people with that daycare.
Right.
So basically it's us saying, okay, Bristol and surrounding communities actually, this is your time for public input.
Yeah,
where would you like us to have this money go? And then we in Development Services Department actually kind of come up with our plan on how we're going to strategize those funds over the next couple years. So it's a very important process, and we hope that people take it seriously. We are asking for input. You know, it is strictly confidential.
Survey?
I think it's like 10 or 14 questions.
Oh,
It'll take you
perfect.
less than 10 minutes. And like I said, each question is based off of HUD's guidelines. You know, it's this is their money. We're just putting it out there basically for them. So we really hope that people, again, take it seriously and will go take the survey. Take just a few minutes. It's very painless.
All right, I know you're all doing it right now. You've
Go
written down
right
the
now.
website.
That's right.
Pull up the survey, 14 questions, and it will help us in terms of, you know, allocating where these funds go within our
Right.
city and what we need. And as our community evolves, there's always new changes and things out there. So
There is, and one of the reasons that we have focused as a city on emergency and substantial or even reconstructions for low-income housing is that Bristol, we have a lot of older housing stock, and it's hard to maintain your property on a fixed income or a very low income. So we have seen a lot of people who have needed those services. So that has been a primary focus for us for several years. I hope that it continues, you know, because we have really helped a lot of people through this Community Development Block Grant and Home Consortium funding.
that's fantastic. All right, well, take the survey. You've got till the end of the year, so plenty of time, but put that on your list of things to do. And thank you so much for joining us today.
And my number, my phone number, my email, my contact information, if people have questions or want to comment, they're welcome to get in touch with me through the city website.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christina. And thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next time.